I'm Nate Munson, the Executive Director of Iowa Safe Schools, and I'll be serving as your moderator tonight. I first want to thank the Des Moines Social Club for all their support in hosting tonight's event. Thank you. I also want to thank Capital City Pride, the Project Primary Healthcare, and the Iowa Pride Pack for helping get the word out about tonight's event. I am so thrilled with tonight's attendance and the number of candidates here, and so thank you to everyone for being here tonight. So another round of applause. So before we get started, I'm an Iowa State School staff person. I have the microphone, so we're going to do one shameless plug very quickly here. If you notice out front, there is a little store selling T-shirts, buttons, mugs, and all this good swag. We are doing our first ever Pride Camp. It's a summer camp for LGBT teens. It's not your typical gay camp, everyone. Proceeds from the store tonight will benefit scholarships for the students to attend that, and trust me, we need some scholarship funds for those students, so buy mugs, stickers, all that good stuff. It'll help send some students to camp. So with that, I'm really excited to help, for you all to please help me welcome to the stage our 9 candidates for governor here tonight. Please come out. So a few quick rules on how tonight is going to work. Candidates will have a 2-minute opening statement, a 90-second closing statement, and 1 minute to answer each question. Time is going to be kept by my friend Adrian here in the front, and she is going to show a yellow piece of paper, meaning they have 20 seconds left on their answer, and a reddish, pinkish piece of paper, whatever color that is. Looks like orange from here, but that color when time is up. For the audience, please be respectful of all the candidates, so no booing. And if you cheer, just remember that that may take time away from answering more questions. Tonight's event is live streamed, and so I know there are several GSAs, Gay Straight Alliances, around the state watching and doing watch parties, so hello to all of you. There's the camera right over there. And we are also going to be using the hashtag Rainbow Forum for tonight's event, so if you want to tweet or Instagram anything at all throughout the night, please do so. And lastly, of all the questions submitted, we had over 50 different questions that were submitted to us as an organization from community members and GSAs. I specifically asked LGBTQ students for questions because it's important that we have them involved in this process. And I alone have seen all the questions and know what those are. They were picked based off of maybe timeliness or what's going on in the news. But if you are interested in a specific issue, please ask the candidates tonight. It's your chance afterwards to talk to them, get involved with the campaigns, and figure out more what's going on. So we're really excited tonight to have all 9 candidates here. Ross Welburn, Marco Battaglia, Andy McGuire, Jake Porter, Nate Bolton, John Norris, John Niederbach, Fred Hubbell, and Kathy Lawson. Yeah! Hopefully I got the placards right. Did I get them right? Okay, we're good. How this will work with each round of questions is we'll start with a different person on down the line for each round of questions so everyone has a chance to start. And with that, we will start with opening statements from Ross Wilburn.
Are we live? I'll let you do it. Are we live? Looks like.
And the other mics working?
Testing.
it's our first one, so.
Keep talking. There we go. All right. There you go. So first of all, thank you all for being here, taking time tonight to come down, and thank you Iowa Safe Schools, the Des Moines Social Club, Capital City Pride, Iowa Pride PAC, and the Project of Primary Healthcare for hosting tonight's gubernatorial forum. My name is Ross Wilburn, and I'm asking you for your support and vote to become the 44th governor of Iowa. Thanks to all of you who signed our Let's Be Iowa campaign petitions for governor, and thanks to all our volunteer canvassers who helped us become the first campaign to meet the requirements to file. And so my name and our campaign will be on the primary election ballot. Now, when I was mayor of Iowa City and city council member of Iowa City, I was part of the majority that helped make sure that we had funding to provide for our aid to agencies fund, which helped provide services that supported the LGBTQ plus community. I supported the great educational work of our Human Rights Commission. And currently part of my job at Iowa State University Extension and Outreach is to train our staff in all 99 counties on how to work with people who have a different cultural background than their own. As a former social worker, I support strong positions against things like conversion therapy, as do other professions, but most importantly is just supporting LGBTQ plus rights and opportunity. I was honored to be asked in the late 1980s and early 90s to help train the first peer counselors for the Iowa Center for AIDS Resources and Education in Iowa City by their director at the time. I was proud as a youth worker from 1989 to 1998 to support programming at a place called United Action for Youth, which included young people from the LGBTQ plus community at our drop-in center. On a personal note, I hope to continue to learn from members of the LGBTQI plus community, which includes members of my own family, in order to continue to help inform and guide me in my efforts at work and hopefully in governing, should I become fortunate to get your vote to become the next governor of Iowa. So I look forward to tonight's conversation. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marco Battaglia, and I'm running to be our first Iowa governor since any of us have been alive that's not from the Democratic or Republican parties. I was blessed, lucky to have in my household a dad, a mom, and an Italian grandmother. And my father is a doctor of education, and he taught science in Africa while he was stationed in Botswana, served in the Peace Corps, and he taught public school in inner city New York, and had a career with the Iowa Department of Education as an equity consultant. So he was working with Iowa schools most of his career to make schools safe for all types of minorities, including LGBTQ plus people. And so I really learned a lot from him over the years, and have really an invaluable source to talk and bounce ideas off of there. My mother immigrated here with her family from Italy when she was very young, when she was just out of being a baby. And really, I was raised because of that kind of Italian background, Roman Catholic. And I get fed up when I see us try to divide between lines of, what people think as far as a religious background, because everyone I knew growing up really didn't, we thought it was wicked to disparage another person because of who they were and that sort of thing. I'm proud to be a member of a political party that has supported the rights of the individual since 1971. We all agree that bigotry is irrational and repugnant. We have our first presidential candidate was a member of the LGBTQ community, and I'm just happy to carry on the work we've been doing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andy McGuire. Can you hear me okay in the back? And I'm very glad to be here. And I'm glad we have this forum, because I'm glad we're talking about these issues. It's important. And I talked to some people downstairs. We really need to talk about all the issues, but this is a very important community. We need to make sure we're talking about it. For those of you who don't know me, and I know a lot of you in the audience, I'm from Waterloo originally. I'm from a family of 8. My dad was a World War II veteran, came home, started a construction machinery business. My mom stayed home and took care of us. But the thing I learned the most is what I was talking to people downstairs about, which was caring. Caring about other people. That's what I see in your community, a lot of caring for others. You know, if somebody was sick, we went and helped them out. If somebody was down their luck, we went and got them back on their feet. And that's why I became a doctor, because I could see the power of caring about someone, especially when they're sick or injured. But I'm not hearing about that caring as much anymore. Around the state, I've gone to all 99 counties, and I'm not hearing about that. I frankly hear about people who think they can't get ahead for their families, they aren't getting a fair shake, and honestly that the Reynolds administration is putting profits ahead of people. Well, I want to change that. And we'll talk more tonight about the particular issues for your community, but let me just talk about a few things, which one of them is healthcare. You know, healthcare is a right, but in this community, in the LGBTQ community, we have got to talk about how there are not the right healthcare arrangements made. We're not paying for things we should, and we'll talk more about that later. We're not being sensitive enough to the individual problems that people have. So we've got to be more sensitive to that, and certainly we have to ban conversion therapy, because that is just a non-starter. So I look forward to your questions, and I thank you all for what you do every day to make it a better place in Iowa. And I hope to be your governor and make it an even better place for you.
I want to first of all thank you for having us, and also to point out, you know, the candidates that showed up today obviously care about these issues. There are certain candidates that did not show up today, and I think that does speak volume. Some of them may have had scheduling conflicts, but some of them never seem to show up to any of the forums we have. My name is Jake Porter, and me and Marco are running against each other in the first Libertarian primary. We're now a major party in the state of Iowa. So, you know, whenever you show up to the, we're going to moderate this. You know, I challenged him to a drinking game, you know, right before this challenge. No, you know, it's really exciting. A lot of people will have questions. You know, what is a libertarian? This is something new. We've been around, you know, since 1971. 1972, as Marco pointed out, our first presidential candidate was openly gay. We've always supported the rights of the individual. And it was really telling. You know, somebody had said, they commented on something that, why are you going to this? It's not important. Well, I'll tell you what, it's very important. The rights of every individual, everyone in here is important. You know, it doesn't matter, and that's the libertarian philosophy, that you're free to live your own life so long as however you see fit, so long as you're not harming anyone else. I don't care what skin color you are, what religion you are, or, you know, anything else, you know, your personal relationships. That's no one's business, that's none of the government's business, and we should not be discriminating against anyone for any of those reasons. I think that's very critical. And so I'm happy that we're actually discussing these issues. You know, a few years ago, I never would have dreamed that we would actually be talking about many of these issues at a forum like we are today, and to have so many people agree and show up at something like this to have their voices heard. So thank you very much.
Just a new mic here. Oh, no? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Well, thank you. My name's John Norris, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with you tonight. You know, I grew up on a farm down in southwest Iowa, and didn't really encounter much diversity in my life, at least it was overt, until I went on to college. And from that long ago until today, it is a statement on our failure that we're still having these discussions in terms of treating people fairly and with respect. And great tribute to the Libertarian Party, Jake, too, for your comments there and your beliefs. Great to be at the Rainbow Forum, because I got one of my early starts in politics working for Jesse Jackson when I ran his campaign in Iowa in 1987, 88. And I was proud to be a part of starting the Rainbow Coalition in Iowa. And I'd like to say I've led most of my life fighting for social and economic justice. And that's what our fight's about here tonight. And how we have to continue that fight and be just consistently battle against those folks who want to divide us based on differences rather